Everybody, Sneaky D here, coming at you live, man, yet again. And today, live, this is actually one of my first premieres we're going to be doing for the dating reviews. So if you're watching now with me live, thank you so much. This is a dating review on Ashley Madison. Now, I mean, you can call it a dating review. This is more, it's going to be a special one. And it's going to be a little bit longer, especially for the premiere. I want to try these out. But we have a lot to talk about, and I've implemented a couple new things into these reviews. So if you're not familiar with how these go, and what I do, basically, is I make an account, usually for free. I'm not going to buy a membership. For an affair couple. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I check out the app. I check out everything it has to offer. Is there iOS, Android website? What do people say on the reviews? You know, what's the subscription features looking like? How was my overall experience? I give it a go for about a week. And just, you know, and the things in between. What features does this site have that maybe would stand out from another one? And that kind of thing. So we really get down to it. Even to the point of how easy is it to delete your account. So we're going to go through all of it. So yeah, with that being said, Ashley Madison, stick around, guys. All right, so like I said, we're gonna start at the top. So we're gonna do basically right from the website all the way down. Hopefully, if I remember correctly, I'll have chapters laid out on the bottom, so you can just timestamp where you want to go. But I would like to mention for this one, we're gonna have some desktop footage and some iOS footage because it's on both, and I just captured the experience from both sites. So anyway, with that being said, let's get into it. So we'll start with the website. Yes, they do have a website, so you can go in, you can log in. A lot of them will have websites with just a QR code to go download the app. But this was kind of a nice touch because there are a lot of people that just want to sit on a laptop and do that. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But for most of the video, we're going to use iOS footage. But I did, again, use the website. The website did boast about millions of members. I'm going to be honest. I think it's always a really bad sign when dating apps and dating sites do this. When you boast about the number of members you have, like daily members, that kind of thing. It's just a really bad sign. You should just let it speak for itself, rather than saying, hey, by the way, we've got 1 million members. You wouldn't believe it. The moment you say that, I think you're not credible at all. So anyway, that was right on the main site. You can't miss it. Yeah, so they really like that having it to you. Some of the headlines, by the way, I'm just going to quote a few of them. Millions of people just like you were looking for a discreet connection. When monogamy meets metonymy. I said that wrong. Don't worry about it. Rooted in desire and the first married dating website. I think those are actually kind of funny because that quite literally is what it is. So they're not beating around the bush. They're pretty obvious about what it is. They have some reviews on the main page. Again, this is kind of, to me, a little bit of a bad omen. Don't really like these. One of them I thought was kind of funny. I'll highlight the quote now. So, quote, I cheated on my husband to find companionship and to feel happy and alive again. This person was just very blunt that they cheated. So if you're not into cheating, this is not for you. Okay. Unless you have an open marriage, I'm not really sure I could do in some of this stuff. Yeah, but anyway, it's supposed to be free of judgment, and they're around the idea that consenting adults should be able to do whatever they want in private. I agree, they want to do something in private, they're all about that, but it's definitely obviously promoting cheating. So just keep that in mind. Again, on iOS, Android, but we'll mainly be using iOS for today's video. Setup. Join free is the first thing you're prompted with, whether you be on your app or on the desktop. That is not a good sign again. I'm going to be straight up. This isn't going to be a good review. In terms of, like, do I like it? Okay? It's not a good review. Yeah, so join free is always a bad sign. It should be like make an account, sign up, something like that. The moment you put join free, you know you are so going to be limited in what you're able to do, because if you're only really able to make an account for free, you are not able to do much more than that. Some examples that would come to mind would be like Zoosk, eHarmony, Match.com, right, are all join free. When you join for free, all you can do is join for free. That is where you stop for free. Okay? It is not like a free trial of Guild Wars 2. You don't play the whole game and then buy the content at the end. You do nothing. You make an account. Setup was really basic. I can't really say more than that. Again, it'll be on screen. Setup there was barely anything to it. It was, I'm a man looking for a woman. I'm surprised they had single options. Like, I'm looking for a single female. I'm a single male. But you had, like, attached male looking for attached female. So you could, attached in this case would be, like, to a partner. Okay? So they could be, like, married or have a significant other, for example. And that's what you're looking for. And I think, honestly, like, it probably, like, gets people off. They're like, oh, wow, like, that's exciting, right? Like, I could be that affair partner, right? Yeah. And again, if it's like an open marriage, it's not really necessarily stated there. Like, I don't remember if there was an option for that, but there was a lot of options in those in the sections there. But overall, like, account setup was as basic as it really gets. Something that I thought was really funny. So it pops up with your photo if you want to put a photo up. I mean, that's a pretty common sense thing to do. We're gonna come back to the photos in a minute, but I just want to talk about this first. I actually just hit skip. It said, are you sure you really should have a photo? And I said, skip. And I just skipped photos altogether. I find it really funny that you could do that. Like, you would think verification and photos would be, like, your number one priority right away. Like, you should have people verified. But yeah, the fact that you can just opt out of it immediately is weird. Something I will promote Hinge about, or give Hinge a little credit, is that you can actually just you can't get around that from what I recall. You do have to upload like 6 photos. Now, a lot of people would just upload photos of water or something and then delete them right after, but at least you still got to make photos. And that the more work you put into like making an account, even if it takes like 2 extra minutes, will actually deter people. And that might be for the better, honestly. I did have a roommate that literally wouldn't make a Hinge account because it was too much work. And Tinder was easier because it's like 1 photo and there you go. And a flag of where you're from. Yeah, so there's that. With the photos, so you have like photo effects, so you can like blur your own photos. You can put like a black bar over your face, like to cover your eyes, for example. And you can put like a mask. Now I don't mean like a mask you would do in Photoshop, where you could like mask an area. It's actually just like an actual like digital looking mask, like a cartoon mask that looks really, really dumb. But I get the idea behind it. Like, you could like put it over your eyes kind of thing, and you could be like, oh, look at me, I'm mysterious. That's the idea. And I get it. And I like that idea. I mean, I just think it looks really bad. That's all I'm saying. It looks horrendous. But the idea is good. I'll give them that. So after setup, we're going to talk about the subscription a little bit later, but I want to just reference it right now that it is coming. Once I finish the setup, and immediately after I finish the setup, I was actually prompted to immediately buy their currency. And you could skip right there, but I was immediately prompted on the screen to do it the moment I completed my setup. A little soon. All right, a little soon. The rest of the setup's pretty basic. You just have your regular stuff. You look your bio. What are you looking for? There's a headline. That's it. There's really nothing exciting that stands out to me there. So a couple of features of the app that we'll talk about there. You just have your generic search. You can kind of just go down the list and look at people, so that's kind of nice. I'll give them again. Always give credit where credit's due. You can just look through a list real quick. You don't have to swipe right on everybody, so that's available. Okay, and there's not much to messaging, but we will talk about messaging. For some reason, my notes aren't here about messaging, which is rather unfortunate. But you can basically you can send a wink. So a wink is just a little face emoji next to a person's profile picture. Again, hopefully we have some footage on the screen for you guys, so you can get what I'm talking about. So you can send the wink over, and it really just notifies them that you're interested in them. I will show this in a minute about some messages. But yeah, so it does that to them, and you get 2 for free per day. Okay, well, again, we'll talk about buying in a few minutes. You can send a private key. A private key, to what I understand, is lets you access their private photos. So you can just upload photos and just mark them as private. You don't need to pay for that. And that would be like blurred photos or just an album. Who knows what's in there, right? Could be anything. Could just be your face. But yeah, so private photos. So if you send the private key over, I think they have to like actually match, unless you like tick a box off that's like automatically match. So they actually have to say yes, and then you can see whatever the photos are. Okay, so yeah, you can send those as well. Just send a message will cost money. But again, we'll talk about that in a minute. So, in my short time on there, just a few days actually, I wasn't really that eager to keep going. I kept getting a lot of these messages that look really weird. So again, they'll be on screen. The messages that would come up, I can't quote them off the top of my head, but it would be like, hey, I really want to get to know you more. Maybe send me more than a wink. Send me a message. And I got like 4 of those, like it was really weird. You can also favorite someone, and I don't know if it does that as well, but I'm wondering if I think it just sends a default message. Because at one point I was prompted for that, like to send default messages when like liking or something. So I'm wondering if you wink at somebody, it's like, hey, I'm interested in you, send me a message. That's what it's going to say. I would say that's really bad. It's a way to get like your dopamine hit because you're gonna get that message. You're gonna be like, oh wow, she's real and wants to connect with me, and you're gonna find out she's not. So we'll kind of come back to that in a minute, but I want to move on to the stealth tab. So the stealth tab is something I haven't seen, by the way, in many of these dating apps. So this is pretty unique in my opinion, and I think it's good and it's bad. It's actually horrendous and it's not bad either. So the stealth tab, you can actually change the logo's appearance. Now, what I mean by the logo is like what the app actually looks like, the icon of the application on your phone. You can change the look of it. And I assume you could do the same on desktop. So I actually played around with it and I changed it to something else and it pops up and it actually did it. Like it did in real time. And the app will actually just go by AM, so you don't really know what it is. If someone actually knew it was Ashley Madison, then they would know. But yeah, you can change that. You can mute the notifications. Now, I mean, that's just for someone, honestly, that's just like room temperature IQ that doesn't just how to mute notifications normally on their phone. But you can do it like specifically for the app if you don't know how to do that. So I guess it's kind of convenient. I thought this was actually kind of cool. You can make a custom notification, so you can actually like write your own notification. Like you could like make it like a not a dating profile. Like, oh hey, you got an email, and like nobody would know what that is if they saw the notification. And you can also set a password specifically to the app, like your Face ID. So if someone wants to open the app or open the notification, so it's really promoting you to hide what you're doing. That's why I said it's almost like kind of a negative. You're almost like it's like you're very much encouraging. You're like, hey, like you're not gonna get caught. You're not gonna get caught, bro. So it's a bit much, but I think it's really cool. Honestly, I think it's easy enough, and that someone can click on that and do that in like 3 seconds. That's kind of cool. Because again, I don't know if you can even do that with Tinder, except like muting the notifications. So that's cool. And I mean, not even by custom notification, like sound effect. I mean like the text. Like what's literally going to pop up on the phone, you can change that. That is all right. I'll give it that. That's pretty cool. So the search preferences, there's not much to note here, honestly. They were pretty good. I didn't see anything that was private or exclusive. It's all your basic search preferences, age, location, all of that. Nothing that stood out, nothing that, nothing good or bad that stood out to me. So really, realistically, I was okay with that. So far, so good, right? That's what you're saying. I'll kind of note back to the messaging, by the way, too. I did get about probably like half a dozen messages pretty quickly. None of them I even believe are real. I liked a couple pictures and profiles, but most of them would just be all like blurred on their pictures, which makes sense. So I have like no idea who even these people are. And I also noticed there's not a lot of younger people on there. Now, when I mean by younger, I'm going to say like under 30. At least in my area, it's all over 30 basically. And it makes sense. Like, it's supposed to be kind of more attached people to a spouse. That makes sense to me. So I just want to preference that if you're like 22, you might just not be finding another 22-year-old. Now, what you've probably been waiting for is a subscription. So to my shock, there doesn't really seem to be a subscription model here. It's actually just coins. You just straight up buy currency. Now, I was prompted to buy bonus coins at one point within 15 minutes. I want to talk about that in just a second, but I did get a prompt when I reopened the app, and that's what it told me. It was like, hey, in 15 minutes, check it out, and you get double the coins that I would pay for normally. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that just in a second, and kind of more about what that does to somebody, but let's talk about the coins and the cost, and we'll come back to that. So the coins work out in 4 different amounts. You have 100 coins, 200 coins, 500 coins, and 1,000 coins. You have no in between. You don't have 850. You have that number, okay? So one coin, 1K coins, is 25 cents per coin. Now, I want to preference this really, really hard, okay? 25 cents per coin. That's what it's telling you. That's what it said. I clicked on it, 25 cents a coin. That's what it shows. It will be on screen. You guys are seeing it. Okay? There's a reason for that. Okay? It doesn't look as bad. That's why. They don't want you to see that you're about to spend $250. And guess what? If you click on it and say confirm, it'll open up like an iOS, right? It opens up the Apple Wallet, and it told me $249.99. Do the math, right? That's what it's going to come up to. I'm literally going to double check as we speak. Watch this. Ready? We open up the calculator. You can't see it, but don't worry about it. 0.25. There we go. Yep, times 1K. Let's see. Ready? 250. I'm not making that up. Okay? So, yeah, $250. Again, we'll have it on screen. That $249.99, okay? I'm not exaggerating. That is literally 1,000 coins in this website will be $250. That's Canadian. That is absolutely atrocious. That's disgusting. Okay? 500 coins is 34 cents per coin, which works out to $169.99. 200 coins, 60 cents per coin, works out to $119.99. Again, that is 200 coins. Okay? You are far better if you're going to buy coins to buy the 5 times the value amount, because you're going to pay $249. If you bought 400 coins, you would basically have already paid for the 1,000 coins. 100 coins is 90 cents per coin, which is $89.99. Big problem here. So the lowest, well, a lot of problems, but the big problem I want to say there and point out is the lowest value you can buy, the entry level to coins, is $89.99. I've always said this, and I'll say it again. If you have a site like this, it's going to be kind of rather expensive. Give people an option that's a lot less than that. Like 50 coins, premium deal, whatever, like $14.99, right? I know they wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying, $14.99, 50 coins, hey, it should run you a week, right? You can check out the site if you want to actually pay for it. That is the point. I think this system and the pricing is just way too heinous. It's way too high. Okay. Again, we're gonna come back to the double coin thing in a second, but you probably already know what I'm gonna say. The winks, by the way, we talked about earlier. So you get 2 free per day, but you can pay 1 coin for a wink if you want an additional wink, and you pay 3 coins for private photo access, which was the private key. Messages. Now, I didn't actually pay for this. Now, I know someone will randomly comment this for some reason, just some ape, and tell me that I didn't really review the site because I didn't pay for it. Okay? Well, I'm reviewing the site right now, and I'm telling you that it's not worth to pay for, so don't do it. I'm not going to pay $89.99 for Ashley Madison. That doesn't make any sense. All right? But from what I can tell in the reviews, which we will come to later, a little bit after this, the reviews, all of them pretty much have stated you pay to message people, you pay to reply to people. So if I message you first, and you're like, oh, hey, this Nick guy's kind of cute, I'm going to hit him up, you pay to respond. Okay? Now, as far as I can wager or figure out, I'm almost certain I'm correct in this guess. You pay for every message in the conversation. You pay for every one of them. It's not like a match, right? Where like other dating sites, you'll match, and then you can just message for free because you matched. But if you don't match, you got to pay to message directly. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if one of you uses this, you pay for the whole thing. You pay for every message you send to someone. And if they respond, you keep paying per message. So you would actually want to get off the site immediately because it would just save you money. Theoretically. Yeah, so I want to talk about the 15-minute thing. So that's obviously a timer for fear of missing out. It's to make you buy it as quickly as possible. There's actually a series I watched called Worst MMO Ever. You might be familiar with it. In that series, they talk about, Buddy will talk about why sites and games have like in-game currency priced at certain values. So now again, like 100 or 200. You notice that there's no 150, there's no 250, there's no 300, right? So it's to always make you buy that upper package. This thing though, I didn't see I just don't know how much a message is to send, but I just assume it's going to be a little costly. I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of jarring. Like I'd say at least it's going to be like 10 coins per message. So if you paid $89.99, let's just hypothetically say it was 10 coins per message. You literally have 10 messages. That's it. For $90. If it's actually 10 coins per message, that's absolutely atrocious. Okay. Yeah, so that's the pay system. But again, no recurring subscription that I can tell. So moving on to the fake female account. This is something new I want to try. So I've made some videos on female accounts, but I don't have a female in the area to make an account for me. So I decided to just make a fake one. I just used like some random AI portraits that obviously looked fake. I was like, let's try them out. Let's just see what happens, right? And it got suspended within like 10 minutes. Okay, so that's probably a good thing. Now, I made it again with the same email. Apparently you can just remake one. And it lasted a few minutes, and then they suspended it as well. And it had no picture on it. They just suspended it. So it probably could have been the same email. Now, my thought process to that, though, is I actually just picked a city that I'm not even in. I just picked, like, Toronto. I'm not in Toronto, Canada. But I picked Toronto. And I'm wondering if that's why. It was like, it looked at where, like, my GPS was and was like, yeah, fake account, ban it. But there's obviously fake accounts, because we're going to come to the reviews, and that's a big thing. So I will give credit that they suspended my 2 fake accounts immediately. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. My main account's still there and thriving. And by thriving, I mean ready to delete. But yeah, and by the way, deleting was also really easy. Just account, delete. There it is. Thanks. But yeah, so that's just notable to mention, and I'm very surprised by that too, that the fake accounts were caught that quickly and suspended. The second one I'm a little more confused on. It had no picture, and they were just suspended anyway, so I think it actually had to be the location. I think it literally wasn't like, you're not in your city, so we're just going to ban you. A little weird. Anyway, reviews. So I want to preface this with some Reddit. I might not show the subreddits just in case for people's privacy, but for this one, for the affairs. But I found several Reddit posts where people said this works. They were very happy with the service. I'm not gonna argue that. If someone likes this service and it works, I'm not. Who am I to judge you, right? To say you're wrong. Okay. Sorry, voice getting parched. Gotta milk the video for the premiere. So that's interesting. Now, in that regard, we're going to look up some SiteJabber reviews. I have them here, and I'll pull out my phone in a minute, and we're going to look at the iOS store, the App Store. And I'm going to read them in no particular order. I'm going to read a few. So let's start over here with SiteJabber. We're going to read a few here. So from Tim F., one review, 6 months and absolutely nothing. That is the headline. Good start. Fake profiles and fake emails to get you hanging on. They'll send you emails saying she's interested, but they don't respond or look at my pictures for so many tokens, and the pictures are the same as their profile pictures. No one responds unless they're trying to sell you something. I could have gotten a good hooker for the money I wasted on the site. That, it could be true. A dumb waste of time and money. I'll keep using they always say this adult friend finder club because the women are not scammers. My experience with Ashley Madison was complete garbage. A dumb waste of time and money. All the women, in quotations, I exchanged messages with were either bots or typical scammers who asked me for money and tried to blackmail me. Like, that's unfortunate. It's scammers. Let's see here. From Tommy G. I signed up for Ashley Madison like 3 times, bought 5 times 50 credits. Apparently you can buy 50 credits. This might have been a while ago. And I got a total of 3 responses back. All 3 wanted to talk on Google or Snap. All pretty and pretended to want to meet. But when it was, sorry, there's just spelling mistakes here. When it was D-Day, I guess that's what he means. No one showed up or had excuses, and all the 3 wanted money from me. So it's scammers. Oh my god, a complete joke. This site is unfortunately very unfortunate. I'm writing this. First, it costs you around $5 for each message you were sending. Imagine that. Great place if you want to spend your money. Second, you even wonder if the profiles are real because you can stop getting an answer after you message someone. Don't do the same mistake as me. Please stay away from Ashley Madison and enjoy your life. And they go on, 99% of fake female accounts. Stay away. One guy says, not bad. Not bad, I guess. Good for him. So let's just whip out the phone here, mid-vid. Let's just see what we got going on, boys. So no particular order. Here we go. So it's an overall rating, 3.7. I might just put this on screen as well, but I can just read it here. So we'll see what's going on. This is an actual scam. Let's see. I paid $85 US for 100 credits. I was able to message 12 women before I ran out of credits. Let's hit more. Not only that, but after I'd messaged those 12 women, the app said that I could not even look at the message I sent, let alone see her reply, because I was apparently no longer a member. Okay? Because I messaged them in relatively quick succession, I ran out of credits. That is to say, I burned through $85 in US in under an hour. To summarize, they took my money, let me message 12 people, stopped me from ever contacting any of them again unless I paid again. And by the way, the 85 US package of 100 credits is the cheapest option. I will be looking to get a full refund. We'll talk about that review in a second. We're going to come back to that. Fake profile, fake messages. Expensive. Takes your money. Bots will start sending you messages. Lol. Caden Cross messaged me. Ashley Madison, do you think everyone is stupid? Complete scam. Just gonna read some headlines. Complete scam. They will steal your money. Not steal, still. Waste of time and money. Scam. The biggest ripoff of all the dating sites. Biggest scam on the net. Too expensive. Biggest scam ever. We got a French one. Je suis un gum. That's not what it said. It's not. I'm an eraser. Stay away. Too expensive. Really? Let's read this one. It says free, but I can't find a single thing to do on the site that's actually free. I think you're probably getting the idea. Do not go. Overpriced, full of scammers and catfishing. Do not use. Yeah. I'm just scrolling through. One guy said bogus. 4 stars. Bogus profiles. Disingenuous exchange of messages to promote further purchases. Money grab. And this review won't see the light of day either. All right. Well, with that kind of being said, let's kind of wrap it up. So, as you can probably tell, the reviews are absolutely heinous. No one seems to really be liking it. Again, I found a few people on Reddit. There was a few Reddit posts that absolutely got what they wanted out of it. They got some partners. They had some fun. And that was women and men. That is very good. I feel like there's probably more fake female accounts to bot up the guys to get them to pay exactly what the review was saying. You're getting messaged, so you feel inclined to pay. The more you pay, obviously the more money they make. That's common sense. And then the ball rolls forward, okay? Or so to speak. It's rather unfortunate, right? It is. It is rather unfortunate. That is the way the cookie crumbles, and people fall for it. The whole thing about messaging for $5, I wanted to talk about that. That's kind of where I was guesstimating about how much it's going to cost you per se. If it actually legitimately, if you did the math, if it legitimately costs $5 to send a message, this is one of the biggest, I can't express this enough, it is one of the biggest scams I've probably ever reviewed for a dating site. If that's actually the case. I could be wrong, right? Because I didn't pay. I'm not willing to pay for that. I'm not going to put my money out for that. But if that is true, awful. Yeah, in conclusion, pretty much right there, like I said, it's probably it's got to be top 5 of the worst dating sites I've ever seen. Mainly for the idea that it is just that godly expensive. At least for a subscription, right? Whatever that subscription cost is going to be. You normally get like unlimited access to hit people up on the site, okay? But the fact that you can just burn through your messages that quickly, like the amount that you have that quickly. I mean, I guess if you use them like sparingly, you could like kind of, leave it out a little while. But yeah, like even the fact in the review that the buddy said, I messaged him, I ran out of credits, and I couldn't even go back and look at it. I couldn't see what I said. I couldn't see her response. I could open messages on my end now. But I'm wondering if it's just because it was a wink. I think the wink is free, like you can see the wink, but I think if it's an actual typed message, you can't see it. Which is rather unfortunate. So it's going to discredit people. And also having like the minimum purchase being that high. I think so little people are going to pay for it. Supposedly in the Reddit posts that I read, which were actually positive, some of them were very positive, they didn't mind paying because it worked. They were like, oh, all right, I'll pay because this site worked out for me. And that's interesting. So instead of hitting the 30-minute mark, I think we'll cut it there. That has been Ashley Madison. This has probably been my longest dating app review, and I hope you guys have liked it. And I'd like to keep them going, keep them in this format, and I think they're going well. It's like when I talk about Bumble, the views just skyrocket. I don't know why. All right. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's been Ashley Madison coming at you live, man. Thanks for checking out the premiere if you saw it live with me. So if you don't know how the premiere works, right, I just upload it, and then you just watch it live. Like, it goes live, and everybody sees it together. That's how that works. So if you saw it all the way to the end in the premiere, that's awesome. If you didn't, I don't know. Pound sand. All right, take it easy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching, you pencil pushers. If you guys want to check out my Instagram here, I've just got it in the background. It's Nick Daniels Photography with an underscore in between each word where I post every day. That's a lie. Thanks for watching. Peace.